Hey guys, it's Mari and you're watching Mari Bomb, and so a couple of announcements before we actually get into the video. I did make a server. It wasn't really all me, it was of course my friends, my lovely mods, who helped me figure out a lot of stuff with the bots, because we have a verification system, not really like that complex. Just go to rules and press the little apple at the button to get your role. Apple at the bottom of the rules to get your role. Yeah, it's not really a complex server. Right now we just have a couple of stuff for, chatting, games, finding Artfight people, sharing your ROCs, whatever. So if you are lucky enough to have already noticed, it's already in the bio of my YouTube channel. I'm gonna try and link it in the description if it lets me. I don't know if it will, but otherwise it's in my YouTube bio. I'll post about it on Instagram, and yeah. So thank you guys for allowing me to have the space and the people to justify making a Discord server, because every other time I made a Discord server in the past it's been primarily self-indulgent, but thank you. So yeah, go ahead and join that, and of course if you have any suggestions or recommendations, we do have a channel called Suggestion Box. If you want any new channels, any bots in particular, stuff like that, let us know. Or if you have any questions, or you want to suggest a video concept to me, go ahead, go crazy. I'm open to anything. Anyways, getting more into the video. So with this reference, so I'm starting with Aleria. I was actually gonna do a different video. It was gonna be a redraw, but I used CapCut to edit, and CapCut just did not like me speeding up this one video. So we're gonna hold off on that for a second, but you'll see the finished product of that video on my other socials before you see anything else, I think. Before you see an actual video of that. Because it's an illustration piece, it's a redraw of something that I did a while ago, and I really like it. I like it a lot, and I want to show you guys and talk you guys through the thought process of it, but I don't know. I'm gonna look into different editing softwares, because it also might not just be CapCut, it might also be because I was trying to skip through the video, making sure that the footage translated properly when it was sped up. But I don't know, we'll see what happens, because that might just end up not being a video at all, but we'll see. But right now I finished Aleria, and oh my gosh, I actually loved doing this one. My thing is that I don't always I don't know, I like drawing, but I don't always enjoy it, Sometimes, especially when you're doing a reference and you just can't get something right, it just really grinds your gears, and that's how I felt sometimes when I was doing Dusk, but that's also because I don't like drawing men, as I've said multiple times. Probably too many. I sound like a misandrist, but I'm not. I'm only halfway a misandrist. How people will take their Ancestry 101 or whatever it's called tests, and they'll be like, oh well, I just found out that I'm 0.1111111.5% Jamaican. I am a sister.
Okay.
Sorry. But that's me with being a misandrist. It's hey guys, I'm actually 25% misandrist. I'm a sister.
I'm a sister. Okay.
That wasn't funny. Moving on. So with Aleria, my main thing was that she's a character that I don't give a lot of attention. I mean, it's like I said before, I don't give my characters the proper attention that they need at all. It's Harmony gets the bulk of what I do have. And then going down the line, it's Harmony. Recently I've been giving Melody a lot of attention because I've been thinking about her a lot. My general USOCs, because I wrote a lot of them in high school, and so they're fresh on my head, and then Zadria, Sari, and then everyone else kind of comes after them, which is a shame because I have a lot of interesting characters, but I think it's just because I've given all of my middle school OCs kind of somewhat normal lives, because in middle school I loved to write angst, I loved to be edgy and write all these gruesome stories, but now I'm just the roms, the coms, the rom-coms, the dramedies, hashtag death becomes her, locking in. Anyways, so that's definitely why I feel I don't give as much attention, because although I think that those stories are interesting, because obviously I'm writing them, there's not a lot of room for drama, so it's mostly just their dynamics that are in my head. And Aleria and her girlfriend Jacqueline are very much kind of the same way, or they fall into that category. where like their concepts and their dynamic is really interesting to me, and I love it and I think about it a lot. I just don't ever have the time to like get it down onto paper. So I think that part of this video is just, it's not just gonna be me talking about Aleria's design, it's also gonna be me like figuring out and like talking through their relationship, which I did a little bit last night, because this is like the second time I'm recording this audio, because I initially recorded this at like 1 in the morning, and obviously that didn't turn out well, so I'm re-recording it now, and I can't say I regret it, because oh my gosh, I just opened up my iPad to like this gorgeous piece of artwork that I did that I'll post maybe tomorrow. Yeah, I'll post it tomorrow, but oh my lord, it's so good. It's so good. Not to glaze myself or anything, guys, but I'm really proud of that one, and I'm proud of how far I come, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it. Moving on. So the thing with Aleria is that if you saw my last video, my middle school sketchbook tour, you'll see just from like, I think we're at the sketch right now, but she's changed a lot. And I don't really know what she used to be. I think she used to be a vampire, because her name is from a book that I got in like 5th grade. Everything goes back to 5th grade. But it's a book called How to Be a Vampire. And like, growing up, I was really invested in vampires. I was really invested in the stories of different like cultural vampires and the way that they came to be and the names that they chose, and somehow I just like, I don't know, but I think that's where her name came from. Not I think, I know that's where her name came from, because it means eagle. Not sure in what language, because it never said, I don't think, but I know that it means eagle. And so basically she used to be a vampire. She's human now, because do I have vampire OCs? I have like one vampire OC who's in the works right now for a story that I want to write with my friend Dart. I think that might actually be it, which is a little bit devastating. I don't know, maybe she's half vampire, I don't know. Moving on. But yeah, now she's human. She's just like your average Joe, your average student. And but the thing that's interesting about her is that she's very multifaceted, and something I feel like people don't really talk about enough is like the way that like sports and the arts kind of not only coincide but like overlap. Because not growing up, but in high school, I noticed especially that a lot of like the people in the arts, they were also on the dance team or the track team or blah blah, usually the track team. I assume it's because track is seasonal. Is track seasonal? I don't know enough about sports, which is why I don't actually go into her like sports life that much, because I don't know a lot about it. But that aside, it's like a lot of people in high school that I knew that were in arts, like they were also on the track team or the tennis team, never the football team. But I do know that like people who are on the football team or like, you know, the, I guess, quote unquote major sports teams, like they were like a handful of them were always either in the arts or interested in the arts. The ones that were interested in the arts, they just didn't have time to participate, and the ones who were in the arts, they were always extremely overworked and so tired all the time, and I feel so bad for them. But at least they're doing what they love, right? Because I know that if I was an athlete, I'd probably like just be so sluggish and tired all the time. And now like I go to a school, a university, where it is primarily athletes. It's primarily, you know, sporty people and gym bros, and we have like a very small arts program, both concerning theater and music, and I mean it's a lot of people, but it's, you know, the program itself is pretty condensed or compact, I guess is the right word, and I think it's because a lot of the athletes, even though they're interested in the arts, now like being an athlete is like their full-time thing on top of being a full-time student, you know, which is a little bit devastating, but it is what it is, and we're working on it. Trust, we're working on it. And so Aleria, where she comes in with that is that she is kind of an examination, I guess, of like how someone can be both a student athlete and also have like artistic perspectives outside of school, outside of athletics. And because I think she mostly does track because she likes to run. She does track because she likes to run, because she enjoys it, not because she feels like she really wants to compete, not because she really wants to get the gold medals. Like, that's an added bonus, don't get her wrong, but like, she's not like the best person on the track team. She just likes to run around. She thought it was fun in middle school, and she never was able to shake it. And that's not to say that it's a burden on her, because she really does enjoy it. But I think that's probably where it comes from. And then, whereas with singing, because she has her own band, it's called Telechick, of course inspired by TV Girl, because I couldn't think of anything at the time. And it's comprised of herself, her brother, and 2 other people who are currently unnamed and unknown. They're known in the universe, they're just not known to me. And so she's the lead vocalist. In my head, she plays guitar, but I didn't want to draw a guitar, so right now she doesn't play guitar. I'll figure out how to draw instruments at some point. I really should, because I do a lot of art, like music stuff, and I should learn how to draw a guitar. I just really don't want to. Her brother Luke, he also plays guitar, but he plays drums, and then, they have a guitarist and a bassist and whatnot. The guitarist is mostly there because Aleria, I don't want to draw her with a guitar. But if I choose to draw Aleria with a guitar, then you'll know. I mean, it's also not uncommon for bands to have 2 guitarists. One for the rhythm, one for, just general other music stuff. I don't know. But yeah, she's very into, like, rock music. I wouldn't call her punk, but I would say that she has, like, punk values, whereas, like, she really loves doing DIY. She doesn't like shopping for new clothes a lot. In fact, a lot of her clothes are either hand-me-downs or just, like, if she does go shopping, it's usually, like, thrifted or like, one of those, like, bundles off of, like, I don't know, Depop or something, which aren't usually her go-to. Like, if she gets, like, an excess of money, and she's like, I kind of want to get off of Depop. Oh, sorry, my dog just, like, she laid next to me. But yeah, like, maybe once in a blue moon, she'll get, like, a Depop bundle, but that's, like, pretty rare. That's like it like her birthday just passed and she had extra money, or she had an excess of money, I guess, and she was like, why not, like, let me splurge a little bit. But otherwise she loves to just DIY stuff. So she loves to, like, cut up t-shirts and do really simple, like, DIY stuff in her. Take a shot every time I say DIY. Take a shot every time I make a take a shot joke, okay? I think I made that in almost every video now. If not, this might just be my second time, actually, but either way, moving on. But, like, small stuff, like, making, like, a little bracelet cuff out of, an old shoe, or, like, cutting up fishnet tights to make, like, a shirt, stuff like that. Like, that's her vibe, and she uses shoelaces to tie her hair. Why? I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought it could be fun, because I drew her hair, and I was just like, how can I make this better? How can I make this cooler, like, short of just, like, adding giant mega bows? And so I decided that shoelaces could be cool. I don't know. I feel like someone who does a lot of, like, projects and stuff like that would have a lot of shoelaces, and she's on the track team. She probably has a lot of, like, old shoes that she doesn't use anymore. So why not? She loves to, like, distress her own tights. That's also a very big thing. And that's also, like, low-key me core, because I have, like, these really distressed tights, and I love wearing them so much. And I remember this girl, she was like, your tights are ripped. Did you mean to do that? I'm like, yeah. I was like, I don't know. I don't understand people who think that tights are, like, ruined once they're ripped. I mean, I guess, like, if it's not your style, then sure. But it's like, I personally, like, dress in very, like, fanciful ways. And so when someone, like, is like, oh no, your tights got ripped, I'm like, oh, cool. And I don't know, not to try and be a pick-me or, like, different or anything, but that's kind of just how I am. Because there is one girl that I know who, like, every time, like, or not every time, this has only happened a couple times, but she would be like, oh, your tights are ripped, and I'd be like, yeah, it's not really a big deal. And she's like, are you gonna get new ones? And I'm like, no, they're still functional, they're still usable, and I think they look cooler now. Moving on, because I've been talking about distressed tights for too long. More on her design. She has, like, when she's on stage, she wears more stuff with Jacqueline stuff, of course, after they get together. I thought it would be cute if she had, like, not just, like, your standard, like, what's it called? Initial pendant, but, like, this like kind of swirly one where it's like if you look closely you can tell that it's a J, but if you're like standing from afar it kind of just looks like a weird spiral. And then of course she has like a little ribbon from Jacqueline, because Jacqueline, she loves wearing ribbons. She loves she loves being cutesy and feeling cutesy and put together. So she has like a lot of spare ribbon in her room. And I imagine that one time Aleria walked in and she found like this really just long strand of ribbon, and she just took it and never told Jacqueline. And then next time Jacqueline sees her on stage, she's wearing it like as like a weird little like belt, and Jacqueline is just like, what? Why would you do that? And then so moving on, so that's a lot about her on stage design. It's again very much just chill, and yeah, she always wears that choker. There's no reason behind that, she just likes it. And then when she's at school, she goes to a school called Genesis Hall Academy, which links with Zadria and Sari's story, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We'll talk about that when we get there, which shouldn't actually be too long, because they're the only ones left on my Artfight. So I'm going to work on them next, and then we'll move on to my OCs that aren't on my Artfight right now. And so Genesis Hall Academy, it's like a pretty like prestigious, I don't know if I'd call it a prep school, but it, you know, academia. And so their primary focus is on academics and athletics, and they take pride in like being like a very like they're very forward about student leading and student leaders. So it's not like one of those things where the student council has all the power. It's not like a kakaguri thing. It's more of like a thing where if a student is acting out, like if it's in class, usually a teacher will deal with it. But if a teacher has concerns about a specific student, sometimes they'll go to student council or like a student council representative, tongue-tied, wow. Or like a student council representative, and they'll be like, hey, can you go check in on so-and-so? And usually they'll be like, yeah, because what are you going to do to refuse? And I imagine that one time this happened with Aleria, because since she is, you know, track star by day, rock star by night kind of thing, like Hannah Montana type thing, which it's not like she tries to keep it secret. In fact, she tries to tell a couple of people, but she doesn't make a big deal out of it. But since she very much has that going on for her, she definitely has missed like a couple days of school, where she does that thing where it's like she'll have a lot of assignments, won't do them, and will turn them in like at the very last second. And I imagine that one of her teachers got really annoyed with that, and so it goes to Jacqueline, because they're in the same year and they have a couple classes together. And this entire time Jacqueline has been admiring her from afar. You know, one time she went out to eat with her friends, or went to like a fundraiser where like Aleria's band was playing, and she saw her on stage and she's like, whoa, hashtag need that. Sorry. And so she and so actually I the way that I imagine the scene is that actually it's like the entire like the entire student government of their like class year, right? And this teacher walks in and she's like, hey, I hope you guys aren't busy, like I was hoping one of you guys could go and check on like Aleria, maybe have a conversation with her. And before like the teacher can even finish talking, like Jacqueline stands up, she's like, I'll do it. And everyone just kind of looks at her and they're like, damn girl, no one's gonna take her from you, go do it. Like like everyone just kind of looks at her and she's like she's embarrassed in the moment, but she gets over it. She's like, I can finally talk to my bias. Sorry, that was so unfunny. I'm so unfunny today. This is like actually devastating. But she's just like, I can finally go talk to Aleria, as if she didn't have the opportunity to go talk to her so many other times before. Like, girl, get a grip. Get a grip. You do not need an excuse to talk to this girl. She's so nice. And so that's kind of how they start talking. That's how they get to know each other. And is there a little bit of DMDery on the way? Maybe. I don't know. But they do end up happy, because I think I write enough doomed Yuri and yaoi and heterosexuality for a lifetime. But they're happy. Talking more on relationships, Aleria and Luke are actually Harmony's like childhood friends, but they ended up going to a different high school. Harmony and like all of her siblings, they go to just like the public school in the district. Genesis Hall Academy isn't like too far away. I'd say it's like probably like I don't know, a hop, skip, and a jump down, but I don't know. Private academy education or public school education, most people who can afford it are probably going to choose the private academy education because it's more focused, I guess, more driven. Yes. So that's definitely a thing, but they're still close. Like they talk and they hang out like every couple of weekends, and of course Harmony is always like at their shows. So I definitely think that for a while, I definitely want there to be like a misunderstanding where it was like after like, I don't know, one of their shows that Aleria was really nervous for, she would have like vented to Harmony about it, been like, oh my gosh, like I'm really scared, like I don't know, like this is like one of our biggest gigs that we've done in a while, and you know, and Harmony will, you know, comfort her, and then when it's done, like Harmony would of course like run over and like, you know, give Aleria a hug, something, and I want that to be the moment where Jacqueline's like, oh my gosh, she has a girlfriend, I should have known someone as cool as her would have a girlfriend, and then like they talk about it, and then Aleria's just like, no, that's not my girlfriend, that's my best friend since childhood. Do not start barking. Do not start barking. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, I think someone's at the door. Let me lock in. Let me lock in real quick, guys. I'm back. Sorry about that. So there was no one at the door. The door didn't open, so it wasn't like one of my parents. Like, I looked outside. There was no one there. It was probably someone, like, taking out the trash. I don't even know what I was talking about anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I guess there's probably gonna be, like, a little bit of misunderstanding, but I think their story is primarily a rom-com. Because I do enjoy rom-coms. On the occasion. Sorry. I mean it when I say I'm really unfunny today, and I don't know if it's because I haven't had breakfast yet. I say as it was not 12:11 in the afternoon. Or if I'm just like so rejuvenated because I took a shower. But either way, we are not funny today, gang. In fact, we are anti-silly. We are anything but silly, really, if you want to put it that way. I guess what else can I say about Aleria? I could also say that her with the middle finger up, it's just an act. She's really respectful. She's really kind, really respectful. She was raised right by her mother, and but she tries to act like really cool and really edgy on stage, and you know, people eat it up because they're like, oh my gosh, up and coming teen rock band. But then you talk to her and she's just like, oh, thank you for coming, like I love you guys, and then like she starts crying. She's like, I love you guys so much, like oh my gosh, like she's high-key me. Because I do cry after almost every performance. I think there was only one performance that, like, I wasn't, like, low-key sad when it closed. And that was just because, like, I didn't like it. Not that I didn't like it, I had fun. It's just that I didn't know the people that I was performing with that well, so I didn't have, like, an emotional attachment to, like, oh, this is over. And I also, like, felt like I could have personally done better. So I was just like, wow, I need to lock in. And that's definitely like a big part of it, I think. I don't know. I was off topic. But yeah, that's Aleria, and I love her. I love her a lot, even though I like never talk about her, never think about her, never draw her. Oops, my bad. Well, I do draw her like a couple of times. I think in my first sketchbook tour, she was in there a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So how do I want to send this off? Ignore that, I'm really normal. I've also been watching Attack on Titan recently, so I don't know if there were any, like, I'll go back and edit this in a second, so we'll see if there were any major, like, pauses. I doubt there were. Actually, there were, I think. There were a couple times where I fully was just, like, I was enamored in Attack on Titan, and you'll see that, like, also in, in the video that I'll post, where I'm in my redraw video, which again, I don't know if that'll happen because of CapCut, but we'll see what happens. We will see. But I'm really enjoying it because I watched it as a kid, and then I never finished it, so I'm rewatching the entire thing right now. And yeah, so make sure that you join the Discord server if you want to just, make friends, talk with people. Again, I'll also be posting the link. If it's not in the description of this video, it'll be in my YouTube like bio channel description thing, or I'll post about it on my story on Instagram. Low-key, I don't use my Twitter. I don't know why I made a Twitter. I don't like Twitter. I don't like posting on Twitter. Twitter scares me. And then I might post about it on TikTok. I don't really know. I'm scared to post on the TikToks. It frightens me greatly. But yeah, if you want to just find people for Artfight, you want to, just chat, talk about fandoms and stuff. I think like right after this I'm gonna actually go into the Discord and add like a music channel for people to talk about music, because that is like, I totally forgot about that completely, entirely. But yeah, there are places for you to like lore dump about your OCs, to ask for art advice, ask for Artfight help, to find people did I already say to find people for Artfight? I don't know. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and if you want updates on videos, you can also join the Discord, or you can just subscribe. I don't know, we'll see. Thank you guys for all your support so far, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye bye! Oh, is this gonna...